he was so polite. And I'm like, you had to nitpick his handshake? He's 18. God, that pissed me off. Oh my gosh. So she's a certain type of crazy. All right,
You got it.
this is my introduction to her, so we'll see.
It's toxic. And let's get on the fact that there's no fathers in
white
the black
culture.
home. Let's talk about that.
Stop.
Who do
You're
we vote
talking
for?
to a radical, not a Democrat. The radical mind state simply is living opposite to our colonizers, which is an imperialist, capitalist mind state, and radical blacks do not believe that is any way for us to have liberation. Well, here's what you all keep doing. You keep interrupting me when I'm talking, and you don't want to hear the point that I'm going to make. And yet you want me to respect your point. And that's not how a debate works. If I show you respect, give me.
That is such female gaslighting. Oh my gosh. He's being so respectful. She's being disrespectful. Yelling at him about being disrespectful. I just can't. Oh my gosh.
The respect back. Ooh, I knew I was going to be surrounded by ignorance, but damn, let's go. Greetings. I am Amanda Seals, widely known as a comedian, an actress, a disruptor, an annoying person on the internet who always tells the truth. And I am now an artistic intellectual who commits myself to making art that educates. And today, I am surrounded by 20 Black conservatives. My first claim is it is undeniable that reparations are just and necessary.
Oh, I like him.
All right, reparations.
I think we've gone back and forth on Twitter before, but I do like him. He's gonna cook.
Yeah, I forgot his name. I like him too.
Anthony, I think. Oh, there it is, Anthony. Let's see him cook.
Fair, necessary. My question would be, who's going to get it? Why would they get it? And how long are we going to sit here focusing on trying to get reparations? It's been how many years since slavery? 150 years, 1865? Whenever there's a real thing that this country wants to do, they do it. Stop Asian hate. Okay, there's a problem with the Asian hate. Let's draft a bill, sign it, and it's done. Anything that needs to be done is done. With us, it's a carrot they dangle in front of us that they don't really want to do. And it's not going to help. We need education. Oh, it's not going to help. No, it's not. We need education. Getting a check from the government is not going to do that. And we need proper education. A lot of us go to these institutions where we're not really prepared, we're not really focused, and we don't get things that'll help us in the real world. So if you want to help Black people, a check from the government, from our tax dollars is going to get raised, because let's be clear, everybody in here is Black. We all American. We all got to pay taxes. It'll go to that. So I don't really see how this is going to help us at all.
Okay. Well, first I'll start with it will help on even just a moral level. The reality is that the United States has become very comfortable with the fact that it does not consider Black people equal. And it shows that in many ways that I'm sure we will discuss over the course of today. But ultimately, there has not been a committed, concerted effort to shifting the mindset around the use of Black people as a labor force in this nation back when it was slavery, now in the use of slavery as slave labor in prisons. So,
you know what's interesting? Women with causes, men are really looking to move forward. Women just live in the past. They're like 100 years ago, this happened, so we deserve money. Where men are like, do you know what? Let's just work on the education, better jobs, resources. Let's just move on. And then the women come in, they're like, no, we must live in the past. Male-female gender dynamics are kind of everywhere. Like you can see it with these causes. What do you think, Doug MPA?
Yeah, I agree. You hit it spot on. Jordan Peterson said that young people take on these big causes to shirk the fact that when you're young, you're like insignificant and you don't matter. So and no one cares what you think. So you latch onto these big causes. Women like Amanda do that their entire lives and never grow out of it. She's literally like a 19-year-old kid, but she's in her 40s. And I hate this narrative where, oh yeah, Blacks built the United States. That's not true. There was a small percentage. Yes, slavery was bad, but most slaves were in the South doing agriculture, right? They weren't in the factories in the North building textiles. They didn't build the freaking railroads. They didn't do any of that. Yes, they contributed because cotton and agriculture did do a lot, but the actual infrastructure was built from the North. And you could also argue that a lot of the gains that the South made through slavery were burned up in the Civil War. So I hate this narrative. Oh yeah, blacks built. Yeah, Americans built America. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, I agree. Okay.
On a basic cultural level, reparations are an act of repair. They are an effort to say, our bad, we see you now. We have seen that done with Japanese folks who were put in internment camps. We have seen that done
I
with.
think the problem is women get these TikTok clips and these shorts where they can sound really cool for like 30 seconds and say something that sounds really nice. But in long form, most women can't do it. And so we get this ego as if we're as intelligent because we get the clout off of the short form like clips.
Jewish folks. We have seen that done even in the case of slave owners who received reparations. When it comes to the use of tax dollars to pay reparations, and this is going to come up a lot today, it's a matter of values, right? For me, my value system circulates around the fact that I think that as a community, we should all be engaged in repair for our community. So I don't think there should be any problem with there being tax dollars spent at repairing consistent efforts that have been made to impede Black people. So the reparations you're talking about are not just related to slavery. There's reparations that have been discussed all over this nation in different communities as it relates to particular massacres, as it relates to redlining and the impediment of Black people to earn wealth by having property. There's been impediments in various ways that can be repaired. And I want to also just add, there's reparations that are considered a cash payment from a government. There's also the version of reparations that shows up in how funds are applicated to specific groups of people. So there's multiple ways in which what you're stating cannot happen could very well happen.
Okay, now as far as the money going towards certain things is going to help us, let's look at Baltimore Public Schools. They get, I think, the third most money per pupil in the US of A, like $15,000 per student, but yet the majority of the population that comes from that environment can't read. They're illiterate. So we're dumping money on the situation, yes, but yet we're not getting the results we should get from it.
Oh my gosh, this was crazy. When I was in high school, I didn't know that my high school had like half the funding of the public schools, and I went to a private school. And I didn't realize that like our tuition was half of what the public school got. And they all had these really nice, like, they had really nice gyms. Like we didn't have air conditioning at our school. They had air conditioning. Like,
wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And like our school, like I remember like they had these giant lunchrooms. Like they would have field houses for gyms, and we had like 2 non-air air conditioned gyms. But my best friend went to the public school, and we got the same grades in middle school, but when we took the ACTs, mine was like 5 points higher. And my brother had the same experience with his best friend, where like 4 years later, we started off getting the same grades, and then we went to different schools. And I don't know if you know anything about the ACT, that's a huge difference. And so he's totally right about the funding, because it doesn't really matter if you have a lot of money from the state if you're not using it properly. Like, I mean, at her
100%.
school, the teachers wouldn't even do anything. Like she said, she'd be so bored, she'd have no homework. Like, and I remember being so jealous. I'm like, that sounds awesome. We go to that school.
Yeah, especially think about this, guys. 80 to 85% of teachers are women. And these women are more concerned about finding out if your kid is LGBT, HCTV than them actually reading. Too many teachers are pushing. I'd rather have my child go to a smaller school where the teachers are focused on actual education instead of all this political agenda stuff that these public school teachers are taking part in.
Yeah, I agree. Let's watch it. Oh wait, no, wrong one.
Money's not going to help the thing. We need to just focus on what we need to focus on. As far as Black people being labor force of this country, what else are we doing? We got 25% of us on some kind of government assistance. 1 out of every 3 Black men will go to jail. We got to do something. We got to work with our hands, work with tools, do something, because we're not doing much of anything. And also, one more piece here. reparations, again, always dangling in front of us, never going to happen. As long as you've been living, as long as I've been living, as long as everybody been living, they say we need it, we need it, we need it, and it never gets done. One more piece.
You just said one more piece, then you're adding
Well,
another one. So
I promise.
So hold
Wait,
on to it. No, hold on to it.
I'm gonna land the plane. I'm gonna land the plane. I promise. Reparations is a thing. Like I said, it's a carrot that dangle in front of us. They're never really going to get it done. And if it was going to get done, it would have already been done. It's just something that they're using to try and make us stay Democrat. That's what I wanted to say.
Well, Democrats.
Yeah, go ahead, Doug.
I agree. Just like how you the radical acceptance on, on baby deletion, like we just have to accept the fact that it's just not going to happen and move forward. I agree with them 100%.
That's the thing. It's women want to live in the past. Men are like, all right, let's make peace with this and move on.
Yep.
It's even in the political stuff.
Are not doing reparations either. This is not partisan. This is black partisan, baby. Okay.
Well,
this is not partisan.
Who do we vote for? Who do we vote for? 93% of the time. There's no incentive.
To be quite honest, you're not talking to a Democrat. You're talking to a radical.
Okay, but let's
land this plane very quickly.
Who do we vote for?
Let's land this plane quickly.
You're
talking to a radical, not a Democrat.
Okay, and you are your own person.
Let me tell you something now. I don't know what they told you, but if they told you that cutting me off is how we're going to get clicks, stop it now.
Oh, no.
That's not how we're going to. That's not how we're going to enter.
We having a debate.
A debate does not require continuously cutting somebody off.
Yeah, women go into men's spaces and can't deal with what men have to deal with. You don't think men get cut off? Doug MP, do you ever get cut off at work? You ever go to your job and someone cuts you off? I mean,
it's called discourse.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: women expect, guys. If you watch any of these ratchet panels, women say, "Let me finish, let me finish." So guys let them finish, and then when they start talking, women cut them off, and that's exactly what's going on here.
Yeah.
Okay, no problem.
Now, I do want to state this. You're stating things as it relates to how money is not fixing a problem without acknowledging the fact that the problem doesn't exist in a vacuum and that there are so many other factors that are determining how that money is getting spent to impede it from actually fixing a problem. You can put all the money into Baltimore public schools you want, but if you are also putting all this money into policing, into communities that are not getting resources, then you are also creating your own conundrum. The other part of this is that when you're saying they, the they is a broad context. And the last part of this that I will say is that you keep saying they're dangling this in our face. They're dangling in our face. Slavery lasted for 400 years. It hasn't even been 400 years since slavery. So should we be only fighting for a quarter of the time to get repair?
All right. I'm so sorry. You've been voted out by the majority.
All right.
Please return to your seat.
Okay.
Oh, I'm excited. I've seen clips of this guy. This kid's like 18 years old. And the clips I saw, he was really well spoken.
My name is Matt Nuclear.
Hello, Matt. Matt Nuclear?
Matt Nuclear, yes.
Matt Nuclear, give me a better handshake than that.
What is wrong with these women? What the hell? He sat down.
Pearl,
What is
Amanda Seals has nuked everything that she's ever been a part of. And you're seeing why, because she can't turn this off. So every professional endeavor, every show she's been on, she's just burned bridges with producers and script writers and music producers, everything. And you're seeing it right now.
I was just thinking that he came in so polite, and I was thinking, wow, Gen Z. I was like, wow, Gen Z. It's not like Gen Z men or women shake hands, and I was actually impressed that he did it.
Feminism and social media have completely changed the dating game. Women have rewritten the rules of dating while men are struggling to adapt to the new landscape. Men want to date, they want to have sex, and some want to have long-term relationships, but many are struggling. The average guy that chooses to date needs to get as much help as he can. That is why I'm excited to have the Wing Girl Method as the sponsor of today's video. Now, you may be thinking, Pearl, how can a woman help me in the dating market? Having a woman in your corner to show you how to flirt is a great way to achieve dating success for men in the modern dating market. That's where Marnie from the Wing Girl Method comes in. She has tens of thousands of men who have transformed their dating life with her science-backed flirting method, the F formula, which has been used by tens of thousands of men worldwide. This proven system helps you attract the women that you want and build your confidence. Do women have unrealistic dating standards? Yes. Do women think that they are boss babes and that they don't need a man? Yeah. But the step-by-step formula of the Wing Girl method shows you exactly how to make these women eager to date you, sleep with you, and be with you. You don't have to be 6 feet tall. You don't have to make 6 figures. With the F formula, all of these things, they're not necessary. Applying this method will get you results almost immediately because the Wing Girl method is sponsoring today's video. They're offering my subscribers an exclusive deal. Just click the link in the description right now and grab your preview of the F formula completely free. Also, if you decide to pick up the full program, you'll get an extra 20% off. Modern women have changed the dating market forever, and men are going to need all the help that they can get navigating the new landscape. Let Marnie and the Wing Girl method help you take control of your dating life. Get the link in the description and get access right away. Click the link in the description.
It's like, why?
Let's
Thank
do
you.
it.
I
All right.
appreciate having this conversation with a beautiful black woman like yourself. This is nice, beautiful arena here. I disagree that reparations are necessary. I think the most important thing that's necessary right now for the black community would be the stopping of violence, especially black on black violence. I don't see how reparations is going to solve anything. You can give everyone here like a $50,000 check, especially people that are in the streets who are committing violent crimes consistently. A $50,000 check, it's not going to fix anything. It's not going to increase the median household income in the next 10 years by 10% or 20%. For example, we have the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. We prevented Chinese people from getting citizenship and even entering the country. We discriminated against them and basically put them under apartheid, even here in the United States. Yet they have the highest median household income. How is that possible? How come they don't complain and feel entitled consistently to beg for reparations and beg for this when they are killing each other 90% of the time, which is the rate that black people kill each other, according to the FBI?
Oh, young Matt.
Yet white people are the oppressors.
Doug, did you go to a white school or a black school? Or like mixed? What was your
White schools.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
And I'm better off.
Did you interact with a lot of black people growing up? Was it your family or yeah?
No, I didn't. There were 30 black kids in my high school of 2000. And then, I went to college on the West Coast for undergrad and grad school. So I was there were only a couple of black kids in my undergrad and grad program.
I was just wondering if you knew anybody that like had been in a violent situation or something. But
Yeah. I have a couple of friends. So when I moved to the East Coast, I would meet people from Baltimore and Philadelphia, and they had some stories, man. And I don't even try to pretend to participate in those stories. I just listen because my hometown, we didn't have none of that going on. But I have met people from Philadelphia, Baltimore, Houston, Memphis that grew up in some crazy situations. So yes.
I'm not sure where your education came from, but they lied to you.
Stats don't lie, though.
Statistics lie all the time. So let's start there, particularly when the statistics are coming from these sources that
I hate to say this, they're kind of true. That's kind of true. It's not that they lie, but they can be misrepresented often. But I always say your first line of questioning should be, what do I see with my eyes? And I'm not gonna, you guys know what I'm getting at. Come on.
gain from the statistics being shown a different way. So if you're going to start your argument on stats don't lie, you've already lost the argument. They lie. They lie all the time. One, comparing Chinese people who are immigrants that made a choice to come to the United States and comparing the continued effort of Black people to ground themselves in a nation that continues to make impediments for them to show and live and exist in their true citizenship is a false equivalency.
I don't believe that happens at all. What? No one here is in.
Are you acting right now? Do you really believe
I'm telling
this?
the truth. There's no systemic racism that I've experienced here in America. What system is racist? I think the only racism we've actually seen recently, systemic racism that we've seen, is the application of systemic racism against white people. The University of Western Washington, for example, has been trying to segregate dormitories using Black-only dormitories because Black people feel safer amongst each other, but they're more likely to kill each other than white people are ever to kill them. That's just the truth. You have King Von rapping about killing other black men. Why should I think that the white man is the oppressor?
It's like
When black men are
gaslighting to the umpteenth degree, because it's like literally in the music, but if you notice it, you're the bad guy.
And
So
also, I'm going to expand on what he's saying. There's racism towards Asian people when it comes to college admissions, because a lot of Ivy League schools, over 50% of the population is Asian. So they added, instead of just extracurricular activities, grades, ACT, SAT scores, they add a personality score now to see if you're a personality fit for the campus. And that is to get less Asian people in and more people that aren't Asian. So there are Asians that are suing Harvard and Columbia because they're being discriminated against to get less Asians into the school.
more likely to kill me.
Oh my
Tell me.
God, this is scary. You need to think about me as your mama. Do not talk to me in that fashion. So let's check that now.
Okay.
Okay. So
men got to stop saying okay. I mean, I do that too, but that's the problem. When someone says something crazy and your immediate reaction is like, okay, you know, yeah.
on a basic level, we have to understand that systemic racism is grounded in the realities that Black people have not been considered an equal human being in this country since its onset. So there's simply no way.
Crazy. They gave Black people the right to vote before women, Black men. So I'm like, really? I mean, they knew then not to give women the right. Even when they're super racist, they knew. Like, they knew, do not give women this right. Don't. Not all. It's a comedy. It's a joke. It's a joke. YouTube. Okay.
To make the argument that there isn't systemic racism, and we have seen in very clear ways the system operate in an organically racist way. Do not cut me off. When we talk about systemic racism, we can start with even the fact that redlining, which was implemented to discriminate Black communities. Are you shaking your head that redlining doesn't exist?
No, I'm saying I don't think it really existed at all. I mean, no, I don't think so at all.
So it does exist. And stating that it doesn't exist doesn't make it no longer exist. Redlining absolutely exists. It is not something that's being made up. It's an empirical fact. And there are realities that exist because of redlining. We know that school systems are related to the way that property taxes are affecting the school systems. If a school system is not getting the same property value as the property taxes allow it, then it's not going to have the same efficacy at allowing for students to be able to get what they deserve. When we talk about systemic racism, we have to acknowledge that these—
Cut her off, King. Cut her off. Cut her off.
Private prisons are literally built based on the test scores of school students in 3rd grade. So if you are literally building prisons with the onset of, okay, if these people are not reaching a certain reading level, then we know that they're going to go down a prison industrial pipeline, or we can use their free labor. Then how is that not systemic? And if you want to
stop them from entering prisons,
how are you going to stop people from entering prisons if your goal is to get them into prison?
Sure, make them try to be more like Ben Carson than be like King Von. That's very, very simple.
So how does King Von happen? How does King Von happen?
King Von
reparations.
Hold on,
actually, no. Let me land the plane.
Yeah.
We're talking about reparations, and what you're doing is actually—
What a demon, dude! What an absolute demon.
Yeah, I mean, I would have said, you want to end it? Stay with your baby daddy. Have kids pick out with a job that might, be a good father, or at least maybe wants a kid. That would end. That would help.